Good morning, my name is Zach, and today I'm going to be informing you on how to play poker and the history of it. Now, a question, how does $12.1 million sound to everybody? Pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
This is what this gentleman did over the course of 2 weeks. His name is Daniel Weinman, and over 14 days of playing poker, that's the jackpot that he won. Now, for a brief history behind poker, there are many versions of poker that still people play today, and nobody's really sure as to where it originated from. There are a few theories, the first one being the emperor in the 10th century of China, but the more common one people go to is this card game that I have up here called Nas, which originated in Persia, which is present-day Iran. And after that was created, it traveled along the Silk Road into Europe, mainly France and Germany, and evolved into poker. And after that, when all the European countries were colonizing America, that's when they brought in poker to New Orleans first, and then up the Mississippi River throughout the entire USA. Now, the World Series of Poker. This was an organization found in 1970 by Benny Binion right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the game I'm going to be going into more is Texas Hold'em. It was the feature game, and it's the most common game people play today. Now, in the early years, it struggled to gain attention, but with the popular TV market and more people tuning in, Chris Moneymaker won the WSOP main event in 2003 with millions watching on ESPN, and this basically helped gain attraction to the card game and helped millions of people start playing it. Now, how do you actually play poker? Texas Hold'em is a game where each player receives 2 cards, and they can use up to 5 of the community cards that you can see right here. That's kind of a step-by-step process, what we call pre-flop. You have the chance of betting before any of these cards are taken out. So if you have, let's say, aces, you're going to want to bet that before any of the hands come out. Now, after the flop is given out, you have another chance to bet, see if your hand may be improved. And after that, the turn, you have another chance to bet. And then the river card, the last card, you can have a chance to bet again. And then it goes to a showdown to see who wins. Now, what hands are you trying to make? Now, they rank from the high card, which is nothing, and ranks up all the way to the royal flush, which is very rare, and I've only ever seen one ever. Now, what can you do when it's your turn? You have 3 options. You can either bet, check, or fold. Bet being placing money, depending on what your hand is. Checking is passing your turn. You're not really confident in what you have, so you pass the turn to another player to see if they want to bet it. Now, you can only check, though, if no bets have been placed. And now the third option is folding. This is basically, if you don't like your hand, you're going to give it away and you trash it. Now, some of the strategies I'm going to be talking about is narrowing down the opponent's ranges. Now, when I say ranges, it's basically what cards you think your opponent might have. Now, if they bet big, generally they're representing a hand that is going to be very high. You're most likely going to be beaten. But that's not always the case, because with bluffing, this is where people don't have a really good hand, but they suspect the other player doesn't have a good hand either, so they can bet high to kind of scare the opponent off and try to steal the money for themselves. And they actually have it pictured here. As we can see, it's kind of small. This player, Ronnie, right here, has 3 of a kind with 3 4s. However, Sarah, she basically has nothing. She has a high card, so she would have lost this hand if it would have played through. But she put in all her money for 700,000 and she ended up winning with the lower hand. And the last one is trapping, which is basically the opposite of bluffing. You have a high hand, but you bet low to try and get other people to bet more money into you. And you're only going to want to do this if you are very confident that you have the best hand out of everybody. And those are my words cited. And my message that I hope to get across to you is that poker can be a fun game, that you don't have to play with actual money. You can play with friends and just try and have a good time and trying to get the better of your opponents, whether it be friends or people at a casino, trying to earn money. And make sure to gamble responsibly, and that is my presentation. Thank you.